Setting up your meeting for YouTube Live. Oh, y'all, we in the building. Hello, everybody. This is Myron J, the coach, life coach, author, guest speaker, wherever you need. I'm that guy. Thank y'all so much for joining me. This is the Myron J Show, the dating panel. I've been trying to do this event ever since like last year, I think. I've been trying to do this event. And so
hello, everybody. This is Myron J.
Doing this event and making sure that, we get some great information out there to you all. So I want to thank my guests for just coming through for me today, being on time. Coming through for me today. We had some technical difficulties, so please forgive us. We was a little late. Y'all know how things can be sometimes. Big shout out to my girl, April Green. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it today, but we're definitely going to get on the next show, so no worries. I thank her for, reaching out to me and putting the event out there on social media, letting you guys know about it. But for right now, enough about me, enough about that. I am from Canton, Mississippi, but I am currently residing in Dallas, Texas right now. And so I got some great people on the show with me today. And I would love to introduce them to you all, but I'm gonna let them do it. And then once they do that, we're gonna get into the show. All right. So first I have my friend/frenemy. This is my girl. We're great friends on social media. We always joking a lot. So I had to get her on the show because she had me on her show. It was a dope show, by the way. Hello, Black Men. It was a great podcast that we did a few weeks ago. So I had to get her on. So I'm gonna let her introduce herself, tell y'all what she do, what she got going on, get in her business a little bit, and then I'm gonna get on over to my boy, Roberto. All right, you got it.
Woo. First and foremost, let me just say that I had to do some soul searching to come on here with Myron because we don't like each other. Regardless of how we socialize, we are not friends. I keep telling myself that, but I am so grateful that you did invite me. Thank you. I am honored to be here. My name is Kalisha Patrice. I am a marketing manager. I do marketing for, this is probably backwards, but it says Hello Black Man. You can find us at helloblackman.com. My business is Effective Marketing and Networking. You can find us at that on all social media platforms. I can be reached at effectivemarketingnetworking@gmail.com. I do, a plethora of things. By profession, I'm a nurse, so I'll be saving lives during the day, just in case you wanted to know. Other than that, I am, in a very happy relationship post-divorce. I have kids. I'm every woman. Let's just put it like that and leave it there.
Hey, I'm with it, but I'm gonna get you back for that comment. I'm gonna go on mute you soon. You get into a good conversation. I'm just gonna put you on mute. You ain't gonna even know it. So look, she's on mute now. I can't even hear. Can you hear me? Are you on mute? So you on mute. I can't even, you fussing at me.
I didn't say nothing. All I was doing was letting you know that I am fluent in sign language, A, B, C, D, E. So you put me on mute, I'm still talking to the people. That's all I'm saying.
I thought you was a game member or something. I didn't know. But
anyway, we're saved.
Let me get to my guy, Roberto Williams, Canton, Mississippi, entrepreneur, life coach. This has been my guy, my brother since years, football, all that good stuff. Roberto, tell everybody again who you are and what you got going on, what you do. Let the people know, man.
Well, my name is Roberto Williams. I'm a barber of 17 years, which is my profession, but I'm a life coach as of the past 2 years. And through barbering, I've been able to reach out to a lot of people and help a lot of people through life coaching as well. My life coaching business is Life Mastery LLC, and I also own a hair product company, which is what you see behind me. My two best sellers, that's the styling foam and the wave pomade. So if you want to get your hair right, you want to get your life right, you want to get your hair cut, holla at me.
Y'all heard it. Y'all heard him first. So where can they go to, man? Where can they get that from?
Well, you can find me on my multiple pages. On IG is Life Mastery LLC. You can also look at the Master Barber Show. On Facebook, you can find me on Facebook as well with Life Mastery with Master Coach Roberto, and I'm also on TikTok with Master Coach Roberto.
All right. Y'all heard it there first from my guy Roberto. So this is the dating panel, man. We're gonna talk about some of everything. We're gonna really like get into it. We're gonna talk about relationships, intimacy, the whole dating process, healing, finances, all kind of stuff. So if you guys are watching and you're on YouTube, please feel free to leave us a chat in the box. I'll read the question out. If y'all got questions, comments, I'll do my best throughout the show to read the questions and the comments out to everybody so we can all, see what's going on and see what's happening. So let me ask you all this. And Roberto, you're married. Just put that out there. So ladies, leave him alone. But Roberto, you're married.
Married of 8 years, about to be 9, May 18th.
He almost a decade in the game. Young man. And myself, single, but used to be married. I've been divorced for 4 years now. Miss Jenkins, Calicia, she's been married and divorced, and now she's in a relationship. Can I say that? Well, it's too late now. I already told everybody got a man. But I mean, you all on social media.
Listen, as men, y'all don't be caring. I'm just putting it out there. That'd be fair game.
Some women don't either.
Noted.
Some women don't either.
Hey, Roberto, agree. I know some women out there be like, oh, he got a woman? Okay, that means he's doing good. Check.
No. You got to keep all the good men hidden and just enjoy your relationship. Sometimes I'm just going to be honest with you.
I know. That's why it took me so long to put my relationship out there on social media. I'm like, no, I'm not putting you out there, because as soon as I put you out there, he come to
thing. So let's start there then. What made you put it out there? What made you just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to let the world know that I'm in a relationship. Because I know a lot of people do that. A lot of people do not get on social media, but they're in relationships, but they don't post their significant other for like years on end, or months on end, because everybody has to make sure it's solid. They have to make sure that this person's going to be around for at least a little while. Right. Granted, you don't get in relationships thinking that we're going to break up, you know what I'm saying, or something bad is going to happen. We want to like make sure that everything is good. Right. So with you, I got a 2-part question for you. I'm sure you've been single for a while. So what made you say, hey, this is the guy for me? That's number one. To want to go ahead and be in a relationship. That's number one. Number two, what made you say, you know what, I'm gonna post this man on social media. I hope nobody's daughter hit me up about this man.
Okay, all right. Your first question was, what made me think that this is the guy? So I'm gonna be very honest with you. Being in a marriage and being out of a marriage and getting into a new relationship, and this is not my first new relationship. I had a relationship prior to him. You never really know. And I'm just being completely honest and completely vulnerable about this. You never truly know that a person is actually the one. Right. You really take a leap of faith, So, we've been rocking, we've been, going through the ups and downs for quite some time, and he likes attention, So I'm like, bet, I got you. Boom, let me put my boo out there. Here he is. Attention. So I wanted to make sure that he knew that I was supporting him as a person, as a human, and that I loved him. And I want people to know that this is who I'm with, regardless of how it makes him feel at the end of the day, or what he feels, or how people feel about it. I wanted to assure that I was giving him 100% of me, even if that means social media. Because some people be like, social media this, social media that, but there are people in this world who want to be recognized via social media. And if that's what he wants, then who am I not to give that to him? And so often we forget that, it's okay to cater to somebody's needs. It's okay to give them what they want. And if that's what they want, who am I to deny that to them? If I lose him behind that, then he was never meant for me to begin with. That's number one. This is the guy for me. He checks all my boxes, as the people say. I never created a list of what a person I needed was. He checked boxes that I never knew I needed. Like, I'm like, oh, okay. You got this, you got that, you doing this, you saying that. Don't get me wrong. He's not perfect. Neither of us are perfect, but he does more for me on a peace end than he does on a disruption of peace end. So that's why I'm able to really connect with him and able to say, okay, this is the guy for me. That's question number one. I'm going to post him. That's question number two, too. That was both of those.
You put all that together. I see what you did there. You're trying to hurry and rush the whole.
I wasn't trying to rush it. If you got more questions, shoot them out there. I'm ready.
Well, my next question is, you said that this is your second relationship since your divorce, right? Mm-hmm. So
Right.
once you got, so with the other relationship that you was in, how long did it take you to get into another one? Did you have to do some kind of healing? You went to counseling therapy? Like, what was the time frame for you? And the reason I asked that because there are people out there that don't know how to be alone, and they go from relationship to relationship.
That's true.
And they do that to get over the next person. And I know a lot of women use the phrase that, well, I was gone mentally before I was gone physically, which is okay. But at the same time, if that's the case, that's cool. But you still need some healing in between. You still need some time to yourself in between each relationship. So how did that work for you? Roberto, I ain't forgot about you. I got a question for you. How did that work for you?
But he picking on me, and that's cool. So I actually been divorced for 10 years this year. This year makes 10 years of me being a divorcee. I got married when I was 17 years old. I was basically a baby. I was a child. It was a shotgun marriage. I got pregnant right out of college. From pregnancy led to marriage. Don't get me wrong. My ex-husband is the most magnificent dad a woman could ever ask for. Like he has sole custody of our son. My son loves it with him. He takes care of him. We do things and we communicate very well, but I wasn't ready for marriage. You know, I was just kind of like, oh, I'm young. I haven't lived. Like, I can't be with you. I don't know what it's like to be with somebody else. So that's kind of how we ended up not being where we in a good space, but we're still very good friends. And I was one of those people who I didn't go to therapy. I probably should have gone to therapy, but I didn't. Post our relationship, I won't say that I jumped into a new relationship, but shortly after I got into a relationship that ended up being a rebound relationship, that ended up being a rebound baby. I'm out here, very open and honest with you guys. So I have a son in a rebound relationship that didn't last longer than John stayed in the army. That's something that people down south say. So the relationship didn't last, but I do have a son from that relationship. But prior to that, me and my ex-husband ended up getting back together. This me jumping from relationship to relationship. We ended up getting back together, trying to work things out. We realized that we were really incompatible. And so we separated, and I ended up in this present relationship. And, you know, it's just a matter of really healing. And people say that a person needs to be healed to be in another relationship. But I'm going to be very honest with you. You don't necessarily have to be 100% healed because you don't know what your problems are if you're not in a relationship. If you're by yourself, nobody is triggering the issues that you have internally. Right. So with that being the case, you can't fix the things that you need to fix if you're not in a relationship. So you can go 20 years and be like, oh, I'm whole, but you're in a relationship with somebody and they trigger something that is from your past and you're attacking them and you don't know what you're attacking them for. So I say to people who feel like, oh, I'm not healed, if there is somebody who is in your life who you feel is consistent, and that is a key for me, consistency. If there's somebody who is consistent, who is showing up for you, who is there for you, who actually shows you some interest, and you want to be with that person, try that out, you know, and that will kind of lead you to what you need to know to heal, to be a better person, because you will not know who you truly are if there's nobody triggering you to be that person.
I like that. You said something there. You preach, you trying to take on my show. But listen, so I like what you said, because you said that you can be healed, but not really know that you're healed unless you get into another relationship. Like, I can go to therapy or counseling for my triggers or for my issues, but how do I know it's going to work until I get into the relationship and those same things come up? The only way I know how it works is when those situations come up, you know, I handle it differently than I did last time, than I did before. And I'm glad you brought it up, because now I'm thinking back to, you know, my relationship, my marriage, and that type of deal. And I saw how I acted from one situation to the next. So I'm like, okay, I'm better now. You know, I hope nobody else gonna pull this other trigger, but I'm better on this one. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, hey, I like that. My guy, Mr. Williams, you've been in that barbershop game, entrepreneur. You've been around so many young men, older men. Everybody comes in your chair, and you hear a lot. You know, I don't have no hair, but I used to go to the barbershop, believe it or not, back in the day. Y'all might be surprised. I used to go to the barbershop when I had hair. There's a lot of conversation that goes on in the barbershop that, you know, we don't talk about, because what goes on in the barbershop stays in the barbershop, right? So you have a lot of conversations, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure you helped a lot of guys too, you know.
I've helped a few. Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, even as a life coach.
I had some successes out of it.
So,
Some I failed in too. So but it happens. But that's what you deal with when you're dealing with men, man. Actually, man, according to the Washington Post, man, 65% of men find it very hard to date. Wow. And only 9% feel like that's not, I mean, it's easy. Yeah. So that's a small percentage to go on when it dealing with somebody and they feel like that it's an easy thing to do, man. And with those 65% of men, which is the majority that will come in the shop with me, man, it's about, like I said, it's about the communication part. And when you're dating, man, it's more so of you trying to give the woman or the significant other that feel that they are fulfilling something that they're lacking in. Mm-hmm. And it's a like I piggyback off what Kalisha said. She said it's the peace part. And I mean, I really agree with that.
So what are some of the conversations? Do you think, what makes you this? Do you think that, and I know you've been in the game married for a while, but I know, like I said, I know you hear a lot of stuff, and this is for both of y'all. Do y'all think dating is a lot different from in like 5 or 10 years ago than it is now? Like is it a lot complicated, a lot difficult? Because I know it seems like a lot of people are trying to idolize this social media relationships type deal, the reality show type relationships, you know, and it seems like people want, but they don't want to give. They don't want to put in. They want to try to take all the time. What do y'all say? Either one of y'all can answer. What do y'all say in or feel when it comes to like dating these days versus, you know, years ago?
So from looking from the outside looking in, like I say, I'm married right now. So dating 10 years ago compared to now, I feel like it's a big change in it due to social media. Social media, you want people to see the big things that they do, that the significant other does for you, and you want them to notice all these type of things. So and know what's that saying they always say? When you see him, you see me. So they letting the world know that they're heard and that he's heard. And so I mean, it's very different compared to then, man.
So it's just like a big comparison lately. It's like you see the good stuff, they're gonna show you all the good. Just like y'all, you guys are business owners. You know, people show you the good of it all, but they don't show you the back end of it, the failures and all the arguments. They don't put that out there. They just show you all the stuff. Right. Miss Felicia, what you got?
So I have a group called Couples Game Night, and we do a very transparent couples game night where we're actually getting to know each other as couples. Mm-hmm. And that is so important because, you know, like Mr. Roberto said, because of social media, people are very surface level. If they don't see what they want, what they feel like they need on the surface level, they're not even engaging people in conversation. And I feel like that's how things have changed via social media. And I think access has created such a barrier for people really committing to relationships, because right now people are like, why I'm gonna deal with you when I got 8 other people in my inbox? You understand what I'm saying? I got John over here in Australia. I got Kumbe over here in Africa. Why I'm putting up with your crap? He's trying to fly me out, not even knowing that these people are not even real. So access plays a very big role in why people are not committing to relationships or why they're not dealing with stuff. And reality is, if you're in a relationship, you're gonna have problems. You're gonna have issues. You're gonna have.
But that also begins, though. You have to ask the hard questions. And from the beginning, you have to ask the hard questions in order to know what that type of person, how they are. Right. In order to, so as getting to know each other, those questions has to be asked.
So Kalisha, what will be, and Roberto, come to you next. Kalisha, what will be a hard question to Roberto is putting out there? Or should I ask him first since he said it?
So I'm gonna just throw something out there. So hard questions. I can't really say exactly what hard questions are at this very moment. Maybe you should go to Roberto first, but I know that
it got to be so hard. It could be one of those very important conversations. It could be like, are you over your ex? When the last time you dated someone? You know what I'm saying? Have you been to therapy before? Do you love your job? Are you, financially stable? You don't have to ask what they make of them. Are you comfortable with yourself, with your life? Just simple stuff.
Right. And as you very candidly ask those questions, I think in my mind and my heart, none of those are deal breakers for me. Right. Because all of those things are things that can be worked on, and that's what like the millennials don't get. I've seen so many people come into jobs and quit jobs because they're not satisfied instantly, not understanding that even though this is not the job for you right now, you need this money to get to the next level. And now you're out here begging for money when you could have been over here making money, but you didn't want this job because it wasn't fit for you. Right. So, and I hate to compare a job to a relationship, but it's basically the same thing. Relationships are work. No matter how you want to play it or how you want to feel about it, relationships are work. If you're not willing to do the job to get where you need to be in relationships, they fail. So a hard question, I'm going to say for me, a hard question in my relationship was, dang, I don't want to tip my tongue. Why you make me forget? Golly, you make me sick. Go ahead over there to Roberto. Let me think about it. I'm going to write it down and come back to me.
But you did say that those questions, and I just threw some out there. You did say those questions are not deal breakers, but at the same time, you say it can be fixed. But the other question will come up is, are you trying to fix it? Do you want to fix it? That's what an issue or problem can come in at, because what we may see an issue or problem, they may not see it that way. They might not understand why you're asking those questions. So, yes, those things are okay if you're, if the answer is not what you want it to be or would like it to be, but are you working on it? That's what we want to know. What you got, Roberto?
Us as men, we tend to have those moments to paint a picture, to make the woman intrigued and want them to follow up with us, to keep the relationship going as far as communication-wise. So we paint the picture and then we might stretch the truth a little bit. That's what we do. Now, we make ourselves look good, and then when those tough questions come about, we're not going to be fully transparent with it all the time. Now, you have some men that'll come out and lay it all out on the table about everything that they have going on, but you also have the majority of men, we try to make that situation happen for us at that time. And sometimes that's a flaw within ourselves.
Yeah, I agree. So let me go to this question. And this is one I see on social media here and there, and typically the people that comments on it, I'm assuming that people are single or in a relationship, but it's hardly ever married people commenting on this. I've seen married people comment on it. And Roberto, I definitely want to get with you on it as well. And then to Miss Felicia, how do you feel about, when the question comes up, the whole 50-50 question? Like when it comes to like,
it ain't no 50-50, man.
Like, you're married man. I've been married, you know what I'm saying? I'd have paid
there is no 50-50.
Whatever. But it's always people don't want a roommate. It's women saying they don't want a roommate because that's a roommate type deal. That's how they look at it. That's how they thinking. And like Lisa said, sometimes it's like the younger generation that thinks that way. Not saying the older people don't as well, but it seems like the younger generation kind of think that way. So what was your advice to that and your opinion to that whole thing?
Okay, well, like I said, I do not feel like there's a 50-50. That 50, I do not agree with it, because as a man, we're here to provide mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. And to me, it was a saying that was put out there that it was like 80%, 20%. It's a deal where you have, how I want to say it, you have the things that you like or the things that you love about this one person, but that 20% of things that you don't like, can you deal with that 20% and make that whole with that person, make you guys whole with that person? Because if he provide that 80%, that 20% is the small things that you may feel like you don't like, or it's not necessarily a deal breaker, because if they have over 20% of that, I think that is a deal breaker. If you have 40%, then you probably not going to be a very happy woman. So that man is providing that 80%, I think that's a good ratio to put.
So let me read this comment real quick from Relationship Gumbo podcast. It states that 50-50 is a myth, LOL. Those numbers slide back and forth like crazy depending on what's going on. And then Shell, my girl Shell, said they've adapted unrealistic expectations from what they see in front of the camera. So that goes back to what we were talking about, the whole expectation of, the real world, I guess you can say. Bishop Christian said definitely more complicated now than it was years ago. So I'm just catching up on some comments here. And Michelle, I'm gonna get to her other question shortly. So Kalisha, what you got to say with the whole 50-50 deal? Me personally, I'm a man at the end of the day. That's how my dad raised me, to protect, provide, that type of stuff. I've done that when I was married as well, but I don't want to have that kind of conversation with a girlfriend, put it that way. Now, if I'm married, then yeah. Now I'm talking about finances or whatever. If I'm married, and then yeah, we can talk about finances. We can talk about how we're gonna make something happen, how we can build this, that, and third. Granted, you can talk about some of that stuff with a girlfriend as well, but it's certain conversations I don't want to like indulge in or have with a girlfriend or someone I'm just dating at the moment. That we're serious, Beyonce, we're working on getting married, then we can talk about whatever. But I'm also that kind of person is do what's best for your household, do what makes sense for you guys. Because I don't live with you. I don't have to live with you. Do what's best for your household, do what makes sense. And based off you guys' understanding of what's going on, you guys' finances, your salaries, or whatever the situation may be, do what's best for your household. And don't feel like, and especially my men, don't feel like you're less of a man because you're not able to pay all the bills or you're not able to do everything that time and things will come later, but don't feel bad or less than if that doesn't happen. Let me put it that way. Kalisha, what you got?
You didn't talk so much. I forgot what the question was.
Because you
said 50-50. That's what we're talking about. So I don't think that I agree with Roberto as far as the 80-20. I do have a follow-up question though. I hate doing this, but I have to do it. Is the 20, can sex ever be in the 20? Just from a man's perspective, can sex ever be in the 20? I bet. Got it.
From a male's perspective, yes, it can be.
Okay. I was just asking. I just wanted to know
how we got to throw that out there when that's just something that both of us should be getting, in a sense, if that makes sense. You know why?
We're going to left the conversation.
He'll be back. But granted that, sex is in a sense everything to a man, because that's what we, that's our nature in a sense or whatever. That could be a woman's nature too, if she's that kind of person that likes it or whatever.
But be the aggressor, that's correct.
Be aggressive. So can we just like take sex off the table and just, stick to?
That's why I'm asking, can sex ever be in the 20 from a man's perspective? That's all I was asking. So 50-50, as from my perspective, because I've been in relationships where I've been the sole provider. I've been in relationships where I've been the 50-50 provider of the household. And from where I stand, it's not 100% of what makes the relationship. So sometimes each of you can play 100% role, but you have to be on the same page as far as how this role works. And you have to do that initially. And when you said girlfriend versus serious, it made me think, because like, at what point in the relationship does one become serious, and how soon does a man know that they're serious with somebody? I personally, from my heart and when I go into something, I'm trying to go into it with the mentality that this is going to be my forever. It doesn't work that way all the time, but that is my goal and that is my mentality. So I never go into anything thinking 50-50. I'm the type of chick that I'm going to come to the date and I'm going to be like, hey, let's go Dutch. I'll pay for mine, you pay for yours. And sometimes, if you worth it, I'm gonna pay for yours if you allow me to. I'm gonna offer to pay for it. Now, whether or not you choose to allow me to pay for it, I might be judging you. I'm not lying. I'm like, this want me to pay for his food. Like,
so wait a minute now. So
I'm just saying.
You offer, and he said, "Yeah, okay, go ahead, baby. Go ahead and do your thing."
I'll be like, blocked, deleted. Go.
I'm glad you brought that up, because there's been times where I know I don't feel right for a woman to pay for me. So I'm just a man. They're just a man to me. But it's okay. I love it for a woman to just offer.
Right.
Just we might say no, we got to be in worry about, but just get us on another end or something, cook a dinner one night, whatever,
right,
something else, whatever. But I kind of figured that, when a woman offered to pay something, you allow her to pay it or be cool with, like, But let me ask you this: is that in the beginning of the relationship, or is it in the middle down the line?
Definitely in the beginning, because if you have proven yourself and you have shown me that you are financially stable and you are okay, yes, I'm gonna treat you. I'm not gonna let you take your wallet out every time. Now, listen, no, put that up. I got you this time. So I mean, women, as independent women, because I can't speak for everybody, as women who have worked to gain a sense of stability in their lives, we okay with treating our men, because if you treat me, that's 50-50. Like, we okay with accepting the fact that, hey, sometimes you need to be treated. Sometimes I'm gonna call and buy you some flowers. I'm gonna get you a date to the spa. We okay with it. I'm okay with it. I do have a guy who doesn't like that, but that's just the type of person I am. I like to treat him. I like him to know that he's just as appreciated as he feels that I am.
And part of that comes from, with him feeling that way, it comes from probably not being used to that, like never being treated that way before. I've dated someone before where she literally celebrated me. You know what I'm saying? Like, my first podcast, my birthday came up, whatever, and I wasn't expecting it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wait. He's like, I knew what to do, but it's like, you know something for this, because I've dated, you know what I'm saying? I had my fair share of dates, and like I said, I've been married and all that. But it's like, it's almost rare that women willingly want to do something for a man. And I know it's a lot of great women out there that do that, but you just don't hardly hear about it too much.
Yeah, you don't.
And so it's refreshing to hear it come out your mouth versus, me assuming that women do that or whatever.
This is a very candid and funny story. I think my guy was having a bad day one day, and I'm like, I'm just gonna send him some flowers. Men don't like flowers. I know that.
No, I don't give a fuck.
Send him this happy. I'm gonna brighten his day. And so when he got to work, they had like canceled his badge, because he works in this industry where like you can't send stuff to their job. So they had shut his badge off, and they called him to the office, and they was like, yeah, somebody sent you this, tell them they can't do that. So I haven't seen him anything since then. But it's like, as a woman who appreciates what her guy does for her, I want him to be happy. I want him to know that on every day, I appreciate him, and he is an asset to my life. So women out there who have good men, stop being a burden. Give that man some peace, be some grief.
Yeah, and we are so, like, it don't take much for us to please us, to satisfy us. So I got a guest that's about to get ready to come on. It's Love Tucker. That's her name. Okay, let me let her in. Y'all welcome Love Tucker.
If we missed, our male is gone. Now we got a female. Thank you.
I don't know what Roberto. He'll be back at some point.
Do I need to say my friends?
I was trying to let her in. I think she's in. I'm not seeing her.
I don't see her face, but I do see.
What?
What it do? Thank you for joining us. I was over here all singled out and all alone. Like, oh, I can't stand to be the only woman in the room. But now the man is gone. Now it's just me and
it's just me, the host. How you doing, love?
I'm all right. How are you?
Great. Tell us about yourself. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, well, just sitting in the house, eating dinner.
No, love. Tell them all about your book. Tell them who you are. Tell them what you do. Snap, snap, snap.
I'll tell them all the stuff as I try to adjust myself so you can see more of me. I am Love Tucker. I am the author of the book 2024. It is available at Amazon.com right now. And I am the proud mom of an amazing senior, and he is going to be going to college next year, which makes me sad, but it's okay because I'm going to send him off with a Hello Black Man college journal so that he can get his thoughts out and he's not feeling lonely out there. I'm also a brand ambassador for Road to Prosperity, which teaches financial literacy to little kids and all the way up, because as Rick Gunterman always says, we don't know what we don't know. So I do all that and apparently look cute in 2 minutes.
Hey, you rocking the scarf. I mean, I love the scarf. You rocking it. Thank you so much for joining us. So, I want to ask you ladies this. I'm glad you came on because I was down to one lady, so I ain't outnumbered.
And I know how he feel about me. So, thank you, love.
My pleasure.
Let me ask you ladies this: when it comes to dating, are you single, married, relationship? What you have going on? Let me ask you that first. I mean, everybody did today, so if you don't want to tell me, then that's fine.
That's fine. I am divorced. Woo!
Okay.
And dating. So
Okay.
I feel like in a way I'm single until discussions happen and things are established. So
I'm glad you brought it up. I got a question for you, but not right now. Let me ask you. You brought that up. So let me ask you this: is it okay for a woman to approach a man? I know I'm a man, but is it okay for a woman to approach a man, or as the young people say, shoot their shot? Is it okay for her to do that? And if so, how far would you go in that?
Okay, so from personal experience, I have seen something that I have liked, and I have walked up and said, "Hi, are you single?"
Okay.
Easy, right? And usually they'd be like, "Oh, I can't believe you walked up to me." Yes, I am single. Go as far as you want to go, as far as you feel comfortable. That's what my advice would be.
So what you got, brother? You got to turn your camera. You got to turn your phone around. Khalees, what you have? What you have to that?
So I can honestly admit that I am an aggressor.
Okay.
I am definitely the aggressor. I am the one. I'm in your DMs. I'm like, what's up? So what we gonna do today? I'm planning.
You're trying to run that man off.
What?
You're trying to run this man off. You got to come.
What? Look, that's what you say, but my boo is secure. And let me tell you something about that. So here's my thinking and my processes. I have had grave discussions. Love has been in these about women proposing to men. Know your relationship.
Man, yes.
Know your relationship. Know your partner. Because so here's the thing. We are in a society where LGBTQ plus runs rampant, right? So with that being the case, you have to understand that even though you may be in a masculine feminine relationship, the masculinity and the femininity may be on opposite sides. So if you're in a relationship where your man has more feminine energy than you have masculine energy, you've got to take charge. And I'm not saying that's the type of relationship I'm in, but you've got to do what you need to do.
Jamie's gonna be like, excuse me, ma'am.
Look, he's about to walk up the stairs, but you got to do what you need to do to make sure that you're happy in your relationship. I'm not saying women go out there and propose to your man, but 99% of the time, if you really and truly look at relationships, women are the ones who are directing the proposals. Yes, men propose, but women are the ones who are saying, oh, it's okay. Yes, I want this. This is what I want. This is what I don't want. And if you view social media profiles, if you look at things, you know that this is what's going on. So why not take that into your own hands? And just like walking up to men are very opposed to rejection. Like men do not, from my experience, I'm not saying you guys are opposed to rejection. I'm saying from my experience, I have been afraid in situations where men walk up to me and they want to talk to me and I reject them. I have been so afraid my entire life because once in college, I got slapped by a guy who I told that I didn't want to talk to him. So from that point on, I have been more receptive of people flirting with me. Like I'll be like, and that can come off as naive and stupidity, but it's safety for me. So in order to keep that from being a problem in situations where I want to be with somebody, I am the aggressor. I'm the one who says, hey, I want you. I like you. I like the way you look. Do you like me? What are we going to do in this situation? So it's been a coping mechanism for me. And it's how I got where I am today with my guy. I've definitely been the aggressor in this relationship. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you think.
You better not propose to that man while you talking about you the aggressor. You better not propose to that man.
No, I have not proposed yet.
You better not get on. You let me find out you got on one of them knees. I'm telling you, I'm gonna call you myself.
Well, I'll be on both knees. If he called for it, I'm getting on both knees. I'm like, boo, hey.
You brought up another question, and I got to get back to Love Tucker. She brought up another question. So, Roberto, what we talking about is it okay for a woman to approach a man or to shoot her a shot? So that's what we're on right now. Me personally, I'm okay. You showing interest, but that's it. Like my best friend said, that's it. You stop right there. Don't take no further.
Yeah, you can shoot your shot. Shoot your shot.
Yeah.
I feel
like she was saying, hey, how you doing? Are you single? Whatever. Cool, shoot your shot. But or it can all be about just walking up to a person, hey, what you drinking? Or what kind of cologne you have on? Just having a genuine conversation with that man or whatever. But and then
spark the conversation and then go from there.
You're right. Put the ball in his court. If he's interested, he'll ask you for your number before you walk off. He's not gonna let you leave if you really interested.
Sometimes I don't even do that. I'll just if I see something I like, I'm walking up, I'm gonna hand you my card and I'm gonna walk away. So
do what
you're like, oh, I like that, then I'm gonna get a call, right? If not, I'm not.
Roberta, what you think about that? Like far as like women shooting their shot.
I mean, that's not a problem with me. I don't have that issue. I mean, if you feel like this is a person you're interested in and you want to get to know that person, then go ahead, because us as men, we blind sometimes.
Yeah. And we might
blind
think
sometimes right, we don't see, or sometimes we actually looking at something else. And then we look past certain things that is beneficial to us.
But you know what else though? Can you agree to this, bro? Roberto, can you agree to this? We a lot of men don't like rejection either. They mess up our egos and our pride. So we rather just sit back and don't say nothing.
That's right. That's right.
Go on by your business versus just walking. Right. It's sad. Some men are like that. They don't. And that goes back to you, Khalees, when you said the guy, when he put a hand on you years ago. That goes back to you. So they bring me to my next question. Why is it that I feel like a woman shouldn't have to sit here and lie about or fake being flirty, and I feel like she shouldn't have to lie about what her name is or give a fake name or number. Your answer should be your answer. That's it. You're not interested? Cool. I appreciate you asking, sir. I'm not interested right now. I'm just trying to work on myself. You ain't got to give them all that, but I just feel like your answer should be your answer. Why do women have to put on this fake show or whatever just to be safe, just not get harmed? Like why we can't accept the no answer and just move on from there and just leave it? But I know, like I said, it's the ego, it's the pride thing, but it's just sad that, and I've known women that have to do that. Men call them out their name the moment they turn them down. Or when a woman said, no, I'm okay, I'm good. A man is going to be persistent, consistent, and everything else you want to think of until you break. He's going to, well, you can't have any friends? Or how about, what's your Instagram? What's your Snap? No, like, oh, girl, she just said she's not interested the first time.
You got to get all those social media.
Right. So if you
so
get
that you can check in every now and then.
Exactly. If you get her information, it was forced. She's not really interested. So now you mad because she's not answering the phone or responding to you. Man, she didn't want to talk to you in the first place.
Right. And that's a Myra and Roberto question. But from my perspective, it's not only ego, but it's also pursuit, because we have been taught as a culture that if somebody pursues you, it shows genuine interest, but that's not always the case. Because if you look at situations where, I'm gonna give you a prime example, Myra, we talked about this on our show, the Toby Nwigwe and his wife's story. She didn't necessarily pursue him, but she placed herself in a position where she knew she wanted this man, so she was in his presence. She made sure that she was supporting him and being there for him, regardless of what was going on. She was going to be his best friend, regardless if he didn't want her or not. She made herself available to him. And that became a problem in society because they felt like she was the pursuant of him. And I think that's where that whole rejection thing comes from. We're so, I want to say, brainwashed to think that if a man is constantly after us, that means he wants us. No, that's stalking. If we say no, we mean no. Like, that's not what we want. As women, I think as women, we kind of instantly know what we want, you know. And if you approach us and you say, and there are exceptions to this, there are very much so exceptions to this rule. But if you approach us and we instantly give you a rejection, or we say, I'm not interested, we're probably not interested. You know, if we break down over time and give you a chance, it's not because we're genuinely interested. But there's always an exception to that rule. But that doesn't mean stalk somebody. That doesn't mean harass somebody. Like, give people space to be, you know, okay with rejection. And I think that's where social media has made this so much more progressive. You know, because you can jump in somebody's inbox now, and if you send me 99 inboxes and I respond to 0 of them, that means stop. You know, I don't want to block you. I'm trying to be nice. I need these followers. I need these likes. I'm not going to instantly block you. So just stop. Like, okay, now I got to block you.
Crazy. Like, it's like, why do we have to go that far? Like, I'm gonna ask you one time, I'm not gonna chase you. I might power walk a little bit, but I'm not gonna chase you down.
Exactly. I'm not gonna do it either. Like,
so Love said that I asked her was she single, and she said that she was single until, what you say, Love? Told you was single until they show you.
I'm single until there's a title change.
Okay, great. So listen, and I'm glad y'all, Roberto, you missed all the good stuff, man, but we're gonna catch you up. These ladies been coming with it and give me questions to ask. When you say that, explain to everybody what's that. I know what it is. I'm pretty sure everybody, but what's your definition of this whole until the title change thing? What's your time frame? How you look at that? How you view? Because a lot of people like that. A lot of women are like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we're in a relationship or we're dating, okay, when are we going to take it to the next level? Like, at what time frame, what point in our dating stage are we going to take this to the next level? So what's that look like for you?
Well, I don't think I necessarily think about a time, right? I'm not thinking of, oh, you know what? Calendar says 30 days.
90 days.
Well, you know, I'm not doing that. But it's, okay, we're having conversations, right? Like, it was like high school, junior high school, you know, it almost seemed easy because you're going together, and it was like other people dictated what your relationship was to you. They were like, oh, that's your man? Mm-hmm. And as you get to be adults, friends kind of try to do that to you, and people will slap on a label, but adults speak to each other and they go, okay, look, I am exclusively dating you. Are you exclusively dating me? Do you want to exclusively date each other for a little bit, see how it feels? Are we getting a warm and fuzzies? Are we getting excited when we're going to see each other? Like, oh, the weekend's coming, I'm going to get dressed. Are we getting excited about that? Okay. We're doing that for probably a couple of months, maybe. I'm not talking about 6 months. I ain't talking about 10 months. Definitely not a year before we go, okay, if I take you someplace, I'm going to introduce you as my man. I'm not going to be like, this is my, just go ahead and tell the people your name. Like, I'm not doing that without the title thing if I'm going to bring you around, if we're exclusively dating. Like, oh, yes, this is my lover, so-and-so. That would be strange. So at the point that there's a conversation, we have agreed, both of us, I'm not going on Facebook, changing my status. And then all of a sudden it's like, surprise, we in a relationship. Like, wait a minute. I didn't agree to this hostage takeover. I'm not your woman. I'm pretty sure I found somebody's underwear in the hamper when I was throwing in a towel last time. So what's happening here? Just, I'm not your woman and you're not my man.
I'm glad you brought that up, because when you're talking to someone or dating, y'all trying to be exclusive, it's good to know, are we being exclusive together, or is it just me being exclusive? Because you don't want to be in a one-sided, you know, dating thing or relationship or whatever. So you want to like make sure that you guys are both on the same page, which is a good conversation piece to have, you know. And so when you're start dating someone, I mean, do you, and anyone can answer this and however y'all want to answer it, do you let a person know up front, hey, this is what I'm looking for, I want to be in a relationship, I'm not going to be single for too long, I'm not gonna be playing these games with you. I want to be in a relationship. I know Berto hear it all the time when people come in his barbershop, sitting in his chair. Like, how's that conversation works though? Like when you meet someone, what's the expectations of that?
It's more so about, to me, it's more so about being upfront. It's about just laying it out, putting it all out on the table, and telling them what you bring to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm glad you brought that up to the table thing. We'll get to that.
He said, "What I bring to the table."
About the table. What about the table? I am the table.
Man, we're not doing that. But listen, hold that thought, Bert, on the table.
Hold on, now, don't get the
We're gonna talk about that in the field and stuff too. So, Kalisha, what you got to say to that?
When it comes to situations like that, so follow you guys. Relationship Gumbo podcast is in the comments. Follow him because he has taught me a lot about expectations. Expectations change. Okay, you can go into a situation wanting and expecting one thing. Understand that I came out of a marriage, going into relationships, not really knowing what I wanted, not understanding who I was or what the next level or steps in my life was. So if you go into something, because honestly, this is the honest to God truth, I hear vulnerable and open to you guys. When I came into this relationship that I am now, we were strictly, I don't want to say what exactly we were, but friends with benefits. So like, and it was like, hey, don't you get no emotions. I'm not getting no emotions. That's not what we're doing out here. We are out here benefiting from one another's friendship.
Man, you knew those emotions was gonna get in there from the
I didn't, because I have friends with benefits that I have never gotten, other than that from. So okay, I'm just saying. But so, you always have to have those expectations that things will change. If you get into something and you're like, hey, this is what we're here for, this is what we're doing. But when things start to, escalate, or when your emotions change or when your feelings change, you have to constantly reevaluate your relationships, just as yourself. Like, as human beings, we change consistently. Our needs, our emotions, our values. Every year, I think that if you're not evolving and changing to be a different person, to value things differently, to accept things differently, then you're not even, reaching your full potential as a person. So every year, every aspect of life, everything that happens, every change that you go through, you're going to have to evaluate your expectations and relationships. So even if y'all go into this like, I'm not really trying to get married today, but now we've been doing this for 7 years. What are we doing now? You're always going to be like, okay, so where are we now? Are we friends? Are we still friends? Are we still friends with benefits? Are we changing? So always be open to change what you go into a relationship with, knowing your emotions, knowing your feelings, and being able to accept and assess those things for what they are, and being mature enough to change with time and change with, values of life and things that go on in life. So
let me say this as a backup follow-up comment / question. You said your expectations changed along the way, and anybody can respond to this. Mm-hmm. So, and you guys went into doing the friend benefit things. Is that the same? Did you go by the same thing if he would have came in and say, I don't want a relationship? This all I want is just like,
that's where we both were. And even
I was today, like, that's how wild up there, right?
Yeah, like, even today, it's so
that's like the same thing as deciding to want a friend with benefit thing. Because let me tell you why I say that. Because when a person tells me that they don't want a relationship, and I know I do, then I move on, because that's really, and I'm not going to expect her to change her mind in a few weeks or so, or a month or two.
You have to be on the same wavelength. And that's why I say you have to constantly reevaluate the situation that you're in, because initially when we came into this, we were on the same wavelength. But as time went on, and as we started to deal with each other on different levels of things, hey, this is more than what we thought it was going to be. So like, where are we now? Like, do you feel like we need to elevate as far as what we have going on, or should we stay here? And even now, like, we don't have titles. Like, we've not identified each other as boyfriend and girlfriend. we just go with the flow, and that doesn't work for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's always important to know your mate, know who you're with, and constantly have conversation. Because just imagine if I was the type of chick, I'm like, I want to be a girlfriend. Matter of fact, I want to be a wife now. And he's like, well, that's not what I want, you know? And then I'm like, okay, well, F it. I don't want to be in it. But you have to evaluate the pros and the cons. If you are receiving more peace out of a situation than you are drama and cause for harm, then maybe this is something that you need to be in, and you need to really, set your sights on having that peace and having that elevation versus a title, because titles don't mean anything. And when you've been married, titles are less important to you than if you have never been married before, because you can be married and being cheated on and, outside babies and all kinds of stuff. I get into that, but I'm just saying, like, titles don't always, mean that this is a committed and very open relationship.
Yeah, it's all about that foundation.
It's not insurance. That's right, love.
Yeah, it's all about that foundation, that bond that you build, that understanding, seeing eye to eye type thing. So Berta brought up a question. I had like 10 questions on here, y'all. I probably asked like 2 of them because the conversation been so good and y'all bring up different stuff. So yeah, let me ask y'all this. So anyway, Roberto brought up the 50-50 thing. That's another kind of like controversial type topic that I've seen on social media a lot as well. And I'm almost 40. Whatever, but I'm almost 40. But I probably asked a woman that question one time in my life. And I was like younger stage. Hey, I'm still young, don't get me wrong. But it was like about 20-ish, something like that or whatever. And I came to realize that instead of asking that question in the best way to get an answer out of that, it's just to have a conversation with the person, like we're talking about now, communicating. Just asking those tough questions or just questions in general. So I know some people just like to ask right then and there, so they can go ahead and make sure they're not wasting their time. But if you think about it, at some point we're wasting our time anyway, to a certain degree, right? But it's okay to just ask a person or just to have a general conversation with a person to see if they see what they bring to the table, or if they bring anything at all to the table, whatever. You know what you're looking for, what you want. Have that conversation, ask those questions, a genuine conversation, it'll come out at some point. What do y'all feel about the whole what you bring to the table thing, the chairs? And let's go with love first. Then
wait, no, I just want to make this statement before she gets started. You're young in dog years. Go ahead, love.
In dog years, I was like, don't let me find out I'm the oldest person on here. All right. I was like, what? I remember 40 fondly, not really, but when it comes to what are you bringing to the table? So this is like the 44-year-old talking, right? Where if somebody goes, what are you bringing to the table? Then that means your table isn't set and I'm not ready to sit down.
I heard that before, yeah.
Like, you are looking for somebody to be like, oh, should I be getting the groceries and taking care of all of the things? Because I have personally found that, and no shade to anybody listening, this is just the way I say it, like, a grown-ass man doesn't care about what you bring to the table. If he has his table set, just come sit at my table. And be like, oh, no, I got the... I literally had someone say to me one time, I was at his house and he was like, okay, I'm going to make you something to eat. Oh, you're hungry? I'm going to make you something to eat. And I'm getting up from the table, literally from the table. Oh, can I help with something? Can I chop up the side? He was like, you can sit down, ma'am. I've got it. And I was like, but I can help with something. And he was just like,
But that's a part of laying it out. That's a part of laying it all out on the table from a man's perspective.
Exactly. Just like, listen, Black woman, go sit down, relax. You don't have to do everything. I've got it. And I had to get to a point where I was like, okay, relax. Let me sip my drink. Because, of course, I have my own table, right? I got my own table. Right. Somebody comes, I invite you as a guest. Here's what I've got. But obviously that is, a metaphor for what qualities do you have. So it all depends on what you're looking for. if you are a self-sufficient man, then you're looking for companionship. I'm not looking for you to pay half the rent or pay half the mortgage or pay the bills, et cetera, et cetera. I got that. It's cute if you want to put in on this, lady, but you probably want to buy some more shoes and bags and stuff. You can go ahead and do this. I got that.
Mm-hmm.
But some people are going to be like, no, you can help with that. And if the female is fine with that, okay. But I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, your table's set. Okay, I know I got my table. So if anything happened over here, don't worry, but invite me to your table.
But could that be one of the reasons? Now, not saying that what you're saying is incorrect or whatever, because there is men out there that's trying to see what you bring to the table so they can try to use you in a sense. But could that also be a question of him trying to, if he has his table set already, he's good. True, we want companionship, whatever, but could he also ask that question to see, can he build with you? See, can he have something with you? See, can y'all make things work together if need be?
Absolutely. I mean, if I don't know anyone who doesn't have a table who wants more chairs at the table.
Right.
So can you help me bring more chairs to the table? Like, hey, are you a weakling and you can't carry any chair? Well, then maybe you're not the person for me. Oh, you can carry 4 chairs? Oh, okay, lady. Like, all right, I've got this going, but let's see what skill set you bring to the table. Oh, and what are you working on? Oh, well, perhaps we can go in on this thing together. So now let's add this and this and this. So we're working on that together. I used to kind of have a problem when I was younger that it always kind of felt like between myself and my friends, guys would, let's say 20s, right? 20s, 30s. Guys are like, okay, let me go out in the world. I'm going to conquer it. And I'm going to build my fortune. I'm going to build my castle. And it's like, hello, I can help. Why do you always keep trying to do everything yourself? No. Or I must go and do this myself. No, you're going to need support. You're going to need help. You can't do everything. There wasn't that. Now they've got everything. It's like, okay, now you want some help. Now you want more. Okay, we can do that too. But you've got to find what you want. Some guys just want, no, I would like a bracelet or a trophy, and I don't want you to do anything. If you good with that, you good with that.
I tell you, it's the man in us. Roberta, what you say to that question? You've been married, you've been in the game a long time. You got a lot of clients and stuff. What do you say to that question when you hear like the whole bring to the table question?
Well, like I said, it's about, okay, well, the male, men, we feel like we have the table already set and we're looking for someone to sit at it with us. So like I agree with what she's saying about companionship, especially when we've already built everything that we wanted. I agree with that completely. But there are also men around here that only got a couple legs missing. They don't have a couple chairs sitting over there. So they want that woman to help build that with them. And I mean, it's to some women, they like to help build that. So I mean, I agree with what she's saying.
So, Kalisha, I know you was like kind of shaking your head a little bit. What you got?
Okay, so let me try to process this. So, first of all, men who are sole providers. Okay, no, let me back up. I was in a singles group one time, and I told this story when I was on the podcast with Love, and I got kicked out of the group because Love came back and was like, you got kicked out because you had a man. I didn't have a man at the time. I got kicked out of the group because I said I wanted to be a housewife. That's what I wanted to do at the time. I did not want to work. Like, okay, I have a professional degree. I can work part-time, but I want you to be the sole provider. I want you to carry the insurance. I just want to work every now and then if that's what I want to do. First of all, they cussed me out, told me I was dumb, I was stupid, nobody wanted that. People was looking for a roommate. I got kicked out of the group. I can show y'all the receipts from this transaction. Like, men today, and that's the thing with social media and about dating with men today. Back in the day, grandma did not work. She took care of the house. She fed. She took care of the kids, the grandkids. She didn't go to work. Like, if she went to work, it was because she wanted to. But now men feel like women should work. Women should carry half the load. I am appreciative enough to say that I have found somebody who doesn't feel that way. I have a job. I work. He doesn't say don't work, but he doesn't say you have to work. Those are things that he does not do. So men who are sole providers, though, this is the problem that I have with men who are providers. And I don't like to say problem, but this is something that I think that men who are providers need to understand. Because you are a provider, that does not mean that you do nothing else. Because there are men who feel like, because I provide everything, you have no complaints. You shouldn't say anything. You shouldn't feel like I need to take you out. You shouldn't feel like I need to do this. That's not the case. I can work for myself. I can get a job and take care of myself. I need more from you than to just provide. You know, my father was a provider, so he didn't feel like he needed to remember my mama's birthday, the anniversary. Like, the money is there. If you want something, go buy yourself something for your anniversary. So as providers, I need men to be more receptive of emotions. And I think we're coming into an age now that men are really realizing that emotional support is very important. You know, you are already, Roberto, you're married. Myron, you trying to find somebody, whatever you're doing. Understand
The shade.
Understand that.
Hey, that's right too now. That's right too then.
That's just two. That's just right too. God, Lee, I ain't doing
it. Up, man.
I'm just saying, understand that as women, we are emotional creatures. We are emotional beings. We live, feed, breathe off emotions. If we don't feel something, I don't care how much you do mentally, physically, financially. If we don't feel it, it's like it's not being done, you know. And I'm not speaking for everyone because I don't know what love language is. But if I'm
all of them,
exactly, and you people be like love language. I be like, I want all those things. I don't just want one of those things. I want all of them. So, but technically, if we don't feel it, we can't accept it. We can't, you know, benefit from it if it's not a feeling that we have. Something else I wrote down, men that know how to accept help. Men that don't know how to accept help. I'm writing notes down as y'all talking.
It is a problem, but go ahead.
That is a huge problem. I watched a TikTok the other day. Love, you don't know Myron. He's famous for TikTok videos. Go follow him. He's got like 1 million views on TikTok.
I don't follow TikTok. I don't have a TikTok.
Girl, go follow him.
I'm over 40. She is not trying to be on TikTok.
So is he. He's 50 something. But there are men. So men have been so susceptible to doing things on their own. And there's that whole provider syndrome that they don't know how to accept help. And so when I came into the relationship that I'm in now, he's gonna kill me for telling all our business, but he didn't understand me wanting to be there and stand by him and support him through any and everything. Like, I don't care what it takes, what it is, I'm right here. Whether it's finances, whether it's emotional abuse that you're dealing with from the past, I'm right here. I got you. I got your back, and that's what I'm here for. And so for that to be such an issue for me, and me not realizing it, but also realizing it because my father was not an emotional person. Now he's more so emotional. But you guys have to realize and accept that as women, we have been here for you guys for centuries. We have stood by your side when nobody else would. When we were being abused in the field, we were there. We were trying to back y'all up.
Look, Harry Tubman, come on now.
Don't. And the sooner y'all realize that, the more we as a community can support one another, because we love y'all. Like, nobody supports Black men like Black women.
We get that, and we understand that we're, well, a lot of us, well, some of us,
some of us.
It's like I was stating before, it's a lot of stuff that we're not used to seeing or experiencing because we never had that due to some of the women that we dated, due to how we saw society was years ago, or what we saw in our household, or what we did see for that matter. So it's like men are, and Roberto, I want you to speak to this as well. We're just so used to doing stuff our own self, you know. So we created our own issues, our own problems, or whatever situation may be, and we want to do it alone. Like it's hard for us to accept help because we don't want to seem like we're deemed as being weak or being vulnerable or that we can't do it on our own. So we just rather do it ourselves and figure it out. So when a woman genuinely wants to come and help us, it's like it's hard to let them in. You know, it's
That's
like
right. That's right. As men, though, it's about the things that we saw it coming up. I was raised by my grandfather and my brother and my mom. I rarely saw my father. So at those moments, you know, we saw the things and how life was in the household. And as we go on, we tend to want to be that person that provides everything and don't have to need that type of help. But we also want that support. We don't need the help, but we want the support. And that's a help in itself. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not that type of person. If you want to work, that's fine. That's how I told my wife. If you wanted to work, that's fine. But I necessarily didn't tell you that you had to. I did not do that. So, I mean, I feel you where you're coming from on that, though.
I mean, I think you're on mute. I'm glad you are, but anyway.
The evolution of that, excuse me, let me butt in. The evolution of what you're stating is women now have that same mentality. We now feel like, hey, if we can work for it, we don't need you to work for it for us. And I think that's where the big divide and the big disconnect has come from in our community of Black people. But go ahead, Myron, whatever.
I'm agreeing with like women are becoming more and more independent to the point where they feel like they don't need a man for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's
that's
like
not true. I can't stand
some women, not all.
You with you were in front of me because it's not like and I'm not gonna act like there's probably not some, you know, cement hard woman who's just like, I don't need anyone. I'm talking about the majority of us don't feel, and I'm gonna use this phrase, safe space. Someone asked me recently, right? Like I was on the phone, I pulled out my drill, I was putting up a shelf, right? I couldn't find a shelf I wanted, so I was like, Dad, you know what? I know what I'm gonna do. I got this wood that I got left over. And he hears me like, are you sawing wood? I was like, yep, I measured it out, so I'm sawing the wood. Then he's like, what the heck are you doing now? I was like, oh, I varnished the top and I painted the side. He was like, what? How do you even know how to do that? I was like, you figure stuff out when you got to do stuff on your own. Then he hear me, I'm pulling out the drill. What are you doing now? I got the drill so I can put the dead shelves up. He was like, but why are you doing all of that? I was like, because if I don't do it, who is going to do it? And that's the mentality like a lot of women have had, you know, girls growing up. And it's like, maybe you had the single mom household or even maybe a single dad household. Dad's probably out working, right? So you got to figure out how to do stuff yourself. Not just let me make toast, let me make, you know, spaghetti. You got to figure out how to do practical things. So once you have that under your belt and somebody else goes, hey, move aside, little lady. Let me take this over for you. You're like, no, I got it. I've been doing it this long. I've got it. And in that way, I think it's almost hard for men to go, wait a minute, we're mirroring the same energy that y'all have had. Oh, no, I got it. I've been taking care of it. Just like a lot of women. Now we're taking care of a lion's share of stuff. And we don't want to just let you take it over because I don't know if you're going to do it right. Are you going to do it the way I want it to be done? Maybe not.
Do I have the way I do it?
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's like you go to somebody's house, you could teach them how to make some fried chicken, and then you taste it, you're like, oh, this ain't as good as my fried chicken. You want the same quality as what you provide.
Control. That's what we want. We want control.
Well, speaking of control, let me say this real quick. Let me back up. Kalisha, every now and then, Kalisha makes sense every now and then. So I got to catch it.
Wow.
I got to catch her when she basically, you know, she getting old and stuff. So, but anyway, you said something about, we talking about, I got two more to go now, two more jokes to go. But you said something about providing and the whole financial thing or whatever. But we have to realize too, providing is more than financial. Can you agree to that? It's more than financial. It's more than, it's all about providing a leadership in your home, making decisions with your significant other, just basically leading the way, being the head of the household. But every time the whole providing thing come up, it's strictly about money. strictly about finances. So what if I am that provider financially? What if I can't provide one day? What are you still going to be there? Are you still going to help me out? You still hold us down, the family down? Don't speak in terms of marriage, because I don't, like I said, I don't really like to have this conversation.
Yeah, I mean, that's where the whole 50-50 thing comes in. Absolutely. You know, there are times when you're going to have to hold down 100% of finances. And if that's not something that you're prepared for, then you're not ready for a relationship, because finances doesn't come from a stable income. It comes from hustle as well. If you don't have the hustle to go out and make sure that your family is stable, I don't care what you got going on, you're not ready for a family. Because sometimes I have been in situations in my previous marriage where I didn't know where my children were going to get anything to eat from, but I had to make sure that I did everything in my power on top of what my ex was doing to ensure that they were going to eat. So providership is never just about finances. Finances is a part of the whole prospect or the whole aspect of what is going on in the household. And I'm just going to leave it there. I'll let somebody else talk about it.
Well, I thank you for cutting yourself off, because I got time. But listen, so I thank y'all so much for being a part of the Myra J Show, the dating panel. I had some more questions, so we might have to do a part 2 now that I know Love Tucker. We're going to try to get you in so you can get your hair stuff done, get you some clothes, on, whatever.
My hair is cute too.
Ooh, the disrespect. Disrespect.
The scarf is
like,
dope.
I'm sitting in my house eating dinner.
Girl, wait a minute. You got to know about these Mississippi men. They ain't ready for it. I almost wore a scarf, but I was like, these.
I like scarves. Scarves are really, I like how y'all do things.
My eye got stuck. You see my eye got stuck. Don't disrespect Love, okay?
I did not disrespect her. I told her in the beginning that I
get her hair done.
No, I said she have her because I know you hit her up at the last minute. That's why I said that. I know.
Oh, okay. Well, say that then. Don't say nothing about a scarf.
I mean, I have a light, so you could see me. Like,
well, I'm saying, she got the paint in the background. She was halfway ready, but you called out the blue. I'm just don't worry about love.
Love. I love you. You look amazing. You are wonderful. Thank you for joining us. You do. Love 2024. Pick that up.
We're gonna let you redeem yourself next time, Love. That's a joke. Don't take that seriously. We're gonna let you do yourself. We're gonna add you to the next podcast. But y'all, thank y'all so much for being a part of this podcast. This is my first virtual event of 2022. Make sure y'all follow me on YouTube, the Myra J Show. Subscribe so y'all can check out my other shows and events. So we got more to come. So Roberto don't know this yet, but I'm about to make you part of my next event called the Guy Talk. So I'm gonna have you and 3-4 more other guys. Gonna just be a whole men thing. Then Kalisha, you know what? Depending on how I feel about you later on, if I like you, I might get you to host my girl talk thing. You just never know. You know, I don't know. You might have to take away the Hello Black Men in the background when you do the whole girl talk show for me. So, but we'll talk about
there. What you mean as part of the brand? Get it together.
Tell her put a t-shirt. But anyway, so we'll so Roberto, I'm gonna get with you, man. We're gonna do the guy talk probably the next couple of weeks, get a couple guys together. We're gonna have the ladies, send us their questions in. We're gonna answer them truthfully the best way we can. And so this is how I like to lead the show. If y'all got anything, Kalisha, go ahead and tell everybody how they can find you on social media and leave us with something that you want us to know, something positive, whatever you want us to know.
So on social media, I can be found on any and every platform as Kalisha Patrice. Hello Black Man is one of the platforms that you need to follow on YouTube, because we do have several podcasts where we highlight amazing people. Love, I got to get you on there. Myron, unfortunately, has already been on. Also, something that I want to leave with you guys is something that I learned from a very wise man while playing dominoes. He said to me, and I live by this. He said, don't let that worry you. Live by that. Don't let anything worry you, because I promise you tomorrow has enough worries for itself, and that's in the Bible. So don't let anything worry you in 2022. Live your life to the fullest. Be happy. Be great.
That's it. I love it. You put the Bible scripture on, even though you're the devil. All right, Love, what you got?
Ooh, all right. Well, I am Love Tucker. You can find me as Love Tucker, because that's actually my name, on Facebook. And I am love.blook. So you can actually see how I generally look on IG. And 2024-the novel, also on IG, and there is a Facebook page for 2024. And my book 2024 is available Amazon.com in the print version. The audio version will be available later this year, along with my second book, Invisible. I'm so excited. I think the thing that I want to leave with everyone is probably my life motto, which I got from Nikki Giovanni, one of her poems. My favorite of hers is Choices. And I think it's apropos for the beginning of 2022. I have lived my life by this for like 30 years. And the first stanza goes, if I can't do what I want to do, if I can't do what I want to do, then my job is to not do what I don't want to do. It's not the same thing, but it's the best that I can do. So as long as you don't do what you don't want to do, you'll probably be heading in the right direction.
There you go. That was good right there. You preach. I don't know what Kalisha just did. All right, bro, go ahead. What you got for me, bro?
All right, man. Like I said, this is my favorite quote, and that's, one can have no smaller or greater mastery than mastery of oneself. I appreciate you bringing me on, Myron.
Hey, let us know where we can follow you at on social media and what you got coming up.
I'm on Facebook at Life Mastery with Master Coach Roberto. You can find me on TikTok with Master Coach Roberto. I'm on Instagram at Life Mastery LLC. You also can find me on Twitter at Master Coach Roberto.
Man, I definitely appreciate you. So I'm the last person to go. So y'all can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and Myron J. the Coach. Put it all together. Y'all find me on there. Make sure y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Myron J. Show. I got more live events coming up. So excited about 2022. Thank y'all so much. I love doing these kind of shows. But thank y'all so much for joining me. Go get my book. I got a book out as well called Married, Divorced with God. It's in Amazon, so go check that out. Hopefully I can get another book out. Squeeze another book out sometime this year on how to be a life coach. So I'm working on that as well. So I might get that going by the summertime. But anyway, make sure y'all follow me on social media. I got so many things to say that I can leave you guys with. I'm gonna tell y'all this, and y'all might can relate to it. My dad passed in 2020. So I watched my mom and dad have always enjoy life. Every time we had to get together or kick back, whatever, they was always dancing, they was always laughing, they was always happy. And my dad always used to tell me, be happy, always be happy. Life is too short not to be happy. And every time I remember him telling me that, and my siblings that, every time I see my mom dancing and still enjoying herself in her life, and I see what my dad did, I made it up my mind a long time ago that that's how I'm gonna live my life. I'm gonna live my life being happy. I'm going to enjoy every moment. I'm gonna dance. You know what I'm saying? Whenever events come up. So that's what I want you guys to do, man. Just love yourself, stay peaceful, stay happy, heal in the process, and just live life, man. Thank y'all so much.
Myron is also a DJ, guys. DJ Energizer. Y'all go follow him. Look at me shouting you out, even though I don't like you like that. Y'all book him for y'all events. He out there ripping and doing.
I've been a DJ 11 years this month, matter of fact. So
congratulations, Myron.
I'm in Dallas, Texas, but I'm from Mississippi, so I come home often to see the family, my daughter. So hey, y'all need a life coach, MyronJTheCoach.com, need a DJ Energizer5@gmail.com. Hit me up. Thank y'all so much. Big shout out to my girl Shelly Shell, Bishop Creasy. I know y'all was watching. Seen some more folks on here, but thank y'all so much for tuning in.
Did you tell us where you're from? I'm sorry, I don't mean to take over your show.
No, go ahead. You sure? Where you from?
Yeah.
Brooklyn. Sorry.
Is that where you are right now? All right. New York in the building.
New York City. Y'all can tell I'm the only one that don't really have a twang, unfortunately. It'll come out the more I'm around a southern accent.
Okay, I'm sorry, Myron. Go ahead, close this thing out.
We good. Thank y'all so much. I'll see y'all next time. Brother, everybody, y'all hang around after I end the show, but thank y'all so much for checking us out.
It's Skill Sets Live. Woo! Roberto, where's your barbershop?